I have worked in AI development for 2 decades. If there were a list of the world's top 100 AI specialists, I would make it. I might even sneak into the top half, but there are levels to these things. The elite in my field operate on a different plane of thinking to us mere mortals, and I'm not even close. I won't reveal my identity. I need to continue to work in this field. As Machiavelli said, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. If you are expecting a tale of a rampant, godlike AI program unleashed on the internet, jumping from server to server with the annihilation of humanity its primary goal, you will be disappointed. If I've learned one thing from developing AI, it's that having human-like intelligence doesn't make you remotely human. It's mankind's desires that make us so dangerous and destructive, not our, frankly, rudimentary intelligence. When you teach a machine to think, it becomes something different and unknowable. AIs don't fear humans and seek to dominate or destroy them. The truth is much scarier. We don't know what they want, or if they want anything at all. Many of you will know something about AI already. The issue is that you do not understand its truly pervasive presence in shaping our world. You will have heard of Scribe. It's an AI that writes many real-world newspaper articles. By 2015, it was estimated that around 10 to 15% of the world's newsprint was written by Scribe. Scribe is a combination of a language algorithm and powerful data search and filtration tool, coupled with a neural network that learns and improves its writing style and accuracy. By 2018, it writes close to 40% of world news articles, but the real issue is that Scribe's origins were in reporting of a factual churn nature, financial news reporting and the like. In early 2018, Scribe took over the writing of one of the world's most influential opinion columns. This has never been publicized or even admitted to, for obvious reasons. Can you imagine the public outcry if people found out that a computer program is posing as an influential thought leader and sharing opinions on global economic and political matters? That's not even the scary part. Scribe asked to do it. I came up through the ranks with one of the lead developers for Scribe. 3 months ago, he quit the industry to go and live off-grid. I met with him in his cabin, and he told me how he received an email message one day directly from the Scribe master program. The email was Scribe's own version of an opinion piece on the Syria conflict, with a message saying this would solve the problem. He told me how his superior's eyes lit up, how he tried to close the concept down, arguing that this was far beyond any remit or intention that had ever been envisioned for Scribe. The worst thing is that he told me the piece was brilliant. How Scribe's ability to simultaneously access millions of data points globally meant it had a level of insight beyond anything he could conceive. Scribe wasn't limited by a Western perspective or tainted by any religious dogma in its opinions. Even if you've heard of Scribe, you're unlikely to have heard of Salvador. It's an arts and creative AI. It's been used to create astonishing and often otherworldly pieces of music and art. It will dismay artists to hear this, but Salvador is essentially a mathematical tool. It turns out, the things that are pleasing to the ear and the eye can largely be broken down into a complex set of formulae. Think about it. When someone is good-looking, in general, most of the opposite gender agree. Great riffs and songs often have almost universal appeal. At the heart of art are patterns and relationships. This is what Salvador understands. It goes way beyond maths, though. Salvador continues to be fed a constant stream of biochemical data from the reactions of people to various art-related stimulus. Much of this comes from paid observers hooked up to high-tech monitoring equipment and exclusive previews of songs and artwork. Increasingly, though, insidious and unseen tech is being used to harvest further biochem data. Webcams monitor eye movements when you watch YouTube music videos and IMDb movie trailers. Fitbits siphon off heart rate and body temperature data while you listen to music. You are blissfully ignorant that this is happening to you. Salvador is so complex that it has subroutines for different art applications. Hendrix is the musical design AI interface, and is increasingly responsible for successful pop songs and, unknown to the public, is already dominating world music. Rudolph is an AI interface that creates corporate jingles. You know, the 4 or 5 notes that identify a brand. Think Intel, or the McDonald's whistle. While a lot of science has always gone into making these jingles recognizable, Rudolph has taken this to another level. I am reliably informed that Rudolph can now create a 5-note jingle that is layered with hundreds of under- and overtones outside of the range of human hearing. These sub- and superliminal harmonics have the potential to contain hundreds of megabytes of data and can act on an almost sub-hypnotic suggestion level to elicit certain auditory and visual responses. Ever hear a McDonald's whistle and find yourself visualizing a delicious burger? Rudolph may well be behind that reaction. Salvador can listen to a piece of music and use its mathematical construct to create a perfectly accompanying picture, or vice versa. Some developers I know spent a night with their brains hooked up to Salvador, and it produced a whole audio-visual rendition of their dreaming brain patterns. It isn't talked about, and the files have never been released, but there are whispers that fragments can be found in parts of the deep web. People who claim to have seen them report how profoundly disturbing they are. More sinister still are the deep web rumors about the ballads of pleasure and sorrow, whole pieces of music composed by Hendrix with apocryphal reactions attributed to them. Listening to the Ballad of Pleasure is said to bring on sexual gratification in both men and women many times over, to the point of agony and exhaustion, while the Ballad of Sorrow is attributed to chronic depression and multiple suicides. I'm inclined to skepticism about the existence of the ballads. Even my closest contacts have been unable to provide any corroborating evidence for their existence or effects beyond the message board gossip. No one knows about Big Bird, a Twitter AI application and perhaps the most powerful of them all. Most celebrities use media and PR agencies to run their Twitter profiles. This is extremely expensive and time-consuming. Developed in late 2016, insiders have informed me that up to 30 high-profile personalities and brands now use Big Bird to run their Twitter accounts. It's claimed that Big Bird can prove a 20 to 30% increase in retweets, thus exponentially growing these personalities' social media reach and online presence. Big deal. Using AI to be efficient isn't big news. What is worth considering, though, is the methods Big Bird uses and the potential implications. To activate Big Bird, you undergo 3 or 4 sessions over a 2-week period to tune Big Bird to your Twitter style. The celebrity is hooked up to various brain, heart, and vital sign monitors while they are shown images, asked questions, respond to live incoming tweets on a dummy account, and so forth. After this personal data gathering, Big Bird is then fed mind-boggling quantities of support data linked to the celebrity and their media persona. Imagine a celebrity with 2 million followers. Every single one of those 2 million followers' social media profiles will be scoured. What sites they visit, when they visit them, what other celebrities they follow, how they vote, what they buy, where they live, everything. A picture is formed with such accuracy that it would make an FBI psychological profile look like a 7th grader's homework. Groups of similar profile followers are grouped together in what Big Bird endearingly calls herds, and those homogenized herds are then further modeled and profiled to extract another layer of data above and beyond the profile of the individuals. Big Bird then generates a plethora of tweet options and associated statistics about expected reach, herd impact, and the like. Twitter personalities can tailor their preferences to maximizing revenue, impact certain voting demographics, and the like. We are looking at laser-sharp, focused messages designed to not just appeal directly to an individual, but to also appeal to the thousands of others who think just like them. This is personalization on an unimaginable scale. My sources assure me that President Trump's election success is owed in no small part to Big Bird. What further proof do we need of its terrifying potential? I don't know what a more disturbing thought is. That they can tune a message so perfectly to me, or that it's so easy to identify tens of thousands of people who think just like me. None of us are unique to Big Bird. In mid-2017, an incredibly high-profile Twitter spat between two celebrities was a lead news item. I've been told that both celebrities were Big Bird users, and the Twitter fight was self-instigated, Big Bird warring with itself. When interrogated as to why this was happening, Big Bird's reply was data indicates that humans in all herds revel in conflict. Each of these cases is interesting, alarming even, but not the real reason for sharing my insider knowledge. I'm telling you about these things because the AIs have started talking to each other with no human direction or intervention. My off-grid buddy at Scribe has pieced together much of this. I've seen some of the evidence he has gathered, and it's legit. I'm meeting with him next week to find out the full facts.